We are counting down the hours now until closing arguments in the Michael Jackson death trial. Again, is that last opportunity for the defense, the prosecution to talk to that jury, to convince them that their arguments are correct. You know, we wonder what is going on with both those teams right now. We have our expert with us, Meg Strickler. And Meg, one of the things that the defense has tried to do is paint Michael Jackson as an addict. And show that it's Michael Jackson's fault. He is the one that administered that lethal dose of propofol. So let's listen. This is just a mashup of points that the defense is trying to make in that area, that Michael Jackson is an addict and he was going to do whatever it took to get some of the drugs that he craved. Let's listen to that.
Conrad Murray has been accused of infusing a dose of propofol and leaving this patient.
I believe there's evidence that he was dependent upon Demerol.
What about addicted?
Possibly.
Are you pointing out that Mr. Jackson was an addict for drugs? Then I wouldn't be offering it to the person in the first place.
So you think it was a self-injection of propofol?
In my opinion, yes.
Would you diagnose Michael Jackson as addicted to Demerol based strictly on these documents?
Probably not. They self-treat.
That midazolam propofol technique has become sort of the standard.
They hide the use. They don't talk about the use.
Withdrawal symptoms.
Virtually every patient experiences sleep disturbance.
He woke up and he said, I told you I could not sleep throughout the entire night.
Doctor shopping?
He asked me about intravenous sleep medicine.
As physicians, we are not just there to enable.
They'll take whatever they can get to make themselves comfortable.
Okay.
That's what happens when Murray's not there to treat him.
So you go, Meg. Did the defense do a good job getting that Demerol defense out there? And will we hear that in closing tomorrow?
We will definitely hear as part of the defense closing. Again, they're trying to spin this as that Michael Jackson and other parties were guilty of this. And why are we picking on just Dr. Murray? It's a good offering of a defense. I just don't think it's going to work because he most definitely was an addict. The problem is that when you're offered to be the doctor of this patient, you have the oath to take care of that patient. You don't leave propofol or Demerol or whatever around for him to self-administer. So even that defense really doesn't work for me because he was treating that patient. And that patient should not have had access to those drugs.
Exactly.
Period.
And Dr. Alon Steinberg, the cardiologist, he was great for the prosecution. He laid that out as part of his 6 deviations from the standard of care. You don't give drugs to an addict. Bottom line, Meg, let's listen to that.
So can I understand? Are you pointing out that Mr. Jackson was an addict for drugs, and that would make a difference? Because if you're saying that I'm getting informed consent, I'm going to give you this addictive, dangerous drug, and I know I'm giving you informed consent to an addict, who's someone who really wants the drug, that they may agree to it no matter what. Is that your question?
Yes.
Then I wouldn't be offering it to the person in the first place,
well,
Mr.
What if you don't know that the person is an addict?
If I don't know the person.
Sustained.
There you go. And Meg, I think that's how that Demerol addict defense boomerangs back at the defense. Because it's like you should be even more vigilant about what a patient gets if you suspect they're an addict.
Exactly. Who takes Demerol? Do I have Demerol sitting right here? No, it is a powerful narcotic, highly addictive. People deliver babies on this stuff. It's not something we just take like, you know, an aspirin. So the fact that the man's taking that and you're even remotely involved in writing prescriptions towards that or administering it is wrong. He needed to have walked away. That's what this case is about, is simply Conrad Murray. Yes, there are other parties that enabled, that's obvious. The entire team around Michael Jackson knew that he had addiction issues and never did anything with it. But whose problem really is it? Michael Jackson. He was the addict, and the people that are around him, he bought, just like Dr. Murray, and therefore he will be found guilty. All
right. Meg, it's been good talking. We're going to continue as we count down the hours again to closing arguments. Both sides' last shot to talk to that jury and try and convince them. Susan, to you?
Mike, it's been almost a month.